Hey, it's Miss Rigal. This will be the last video that I do for this packet that is due May 8th. It's Thursday. Today's date is Thursday, April 30th, 2020. It's the last day of April, and I have two feelings about that. I'm kind of shocked. That's what that guy's doing on the left. He's saying, "What?" Like he's shocked. And I'm also sad, like a little cat making a sad face, because we have gone the entire month of April, from April 1st all the way to April 30th, not being in school. And that is just really odd to me. April is a month that we're supposed to be hitting it hard at school. So I feel shocked and I feel sad at the same time. Here are our websites for distance learning. I encourage you to go in those websites and work on some lessons and read some books and make your brain grow. That's what they're there for. When you're out of school, we don't want your brain to just sit there and kind of freeze. You have to exercise that brain like a muscle. A muscle doesn't get stronger unless you exercise it. So please make some time to try to get in there and get some lessons done. I know not everybody has the best access to the internet or a device to work on it. I understand that. But if you do, just consider what you're doing with your time. If you're able to pick up a device and log in, please do that. Okay, so yesterday we finished what I'm calling the reading and writing section of the packet. It was the first part of the packet. We finished writing about what we learned on turkey vultures. So we're finished with that first part, and now it's time to turn to, I think it's after the word work, there are these stories with some questions. I think we're going to do 3 of them together, and then I'm going to let you do the other 3 by yourself. But if you could, try to find the page called TikTok. It's got a clock on it, and in the top left corner of the page, there's a CK. So if you need to pause me to try to find that page, that's fine. But I'm also going to give you a minute to read the story yourself. Okay, the story is called Tick Tock. Did you hear the clock? It goes tick tock, tick tock, said Mac. No, I did not hear the clock, said Rick. I was on the back deck. I was playing with my duck. My duck was quacking, so I can't hear the clock. Just try to hear it, said Mac. Rick picked up the clock. He put it by his ear. I hear it, said Rick. I can hear the clock. It goes tick-tock. And if you notice, a lot of those words in that story end with CK. I see clock and tick and tock, and even Mac and Rick end with CK. So I bet if you went through there, you could find a lot of CK words. But moving on to the questions. Number 1, what did Mac ask? So if you look at the story on the left, the very first thing he asked was, did you hear the clock? And the way we know that is a question is it has a question mark at the end. And we know that Max said it because it says, did you hear the clock? It goes tick-tock, tick-tock, said Mac. And actually there's a typo in there. It should be tick-tock, tick-tock, and it looks like it says tick-tock, tock, tock. But anyway, so what did Mac ask? He said, did you hear the clock? Number 2, why didn't Rick hear the clock? Okay, in the story, Rick said, "No, I did not hear the clock. I was on the back deck. I was playing with my duck. My duck was quacking, so I can't hear the clock." So a shortened answer for number 2 for why didn't Rick hear the clock was he was playing with his duck and his duck was quacking. So for a complete sentence, you could put Rick was playing with his duck and the duck was quacking. Okay, number 3. What did Rick do at the end? So at the end of the story, it looks like Rick picked up the clock and he put it by his ear. And he said, "I can hear it." So what did Rick do at the end? Rick heard the clock. Or you could put Rick can hear the clock. It's best to answer questions with a complete sentence. And you start a sentence with an uppercase capital letter and you end it with a period and put spaces between your words. And that's all there is for the story TikTok. Okay, the next page is called The Chat with Chad. And it has a CH in the top left corner of the page. That's because many of these words are going to have the ch sound. And just a funny little side note, this story made me laugh because my husband's name happens to be Chad. So it's kind of funny that Chad is a boy in the story. So I showed it to him and we had a little laugh. But you can take a minute to read The Chat with Chad. Okay, The Chat with Chad. Chad had to have a chat with his mom and dad. They had to have a chat because his dog made a bad choice. Chad's dog Chum made the choice to chew up the chair. Then Chum chased the chick. Chad's mom and dad said, "Chad, do not let the dog make bad choices again." Okay, so there are very, very many CH words in there. Words that start with the CH sound. Ch. And I bet you could find them all. It looks like the dog messed up the chair and then chased the chick. Poor chick. So here are our questions that go with the story. Number 1, who did Chad have to chat with? And I'm pretty sure everyone knows what a chat is, but if not, it's just a small talk, like a short conversation. So who did Chad have to have a chat with? In the very first sentence, it says, Chad had to have a chat with his mom and dad. So you could take that sentence right there and write it as your answer because it's a complete sentence. Okay, number 2, what did Chum do? And if you remember, Chum is the dog. You could say it different ways. Chum made bad choices. Or Chum chewed up the chair and chased the chick. So there's different ways you could tell what Chum did. You could be correct different ways. Okay, number 3. What did Chad's mom and dad say? At the very end, it says that they said, Chad's mom and dad said, Chad, do not let the dog make bad choices again. So you could pretty much copy that sentence as your answer. Chad's mom and dad said, Chad, do not let the dog make bad choices again. Okay, so if you go to the very next page on the back of the Chat with Chad, there is a story called The Blimp, and it has 4 questions, and it has a BL in the top right corner, bull. So this story is called The Blimp. I'm going to give you a minute to read The Blimp. Okay, The Blimp. Blake has a dog named Blue. He walks Blue around the block. One day, Blake looks up and sees a blimp in the sky, and in a blink, Blue gets away. Blue had a blast chasing after blackbirds. Blake said, Blue, come here. They went home, and Blue went to sleep on his blanket. So you probably heard a lot of BL words in that story. I bet you could find every single one of them. Again, it looks like a bird. I mean, a dog is chasing a bird, like in that other story. Okay, so the questions. Number 1, what is Blake's dog's name? And if you look at the very first sentence, it says Blake has a dog named Blue. So you could copy that first sentence as your answer for number 1. Okay, number 2, where does Blake walk his dog? If you look at the second sentence, it says he walks Blue around the block. So you could copy the second sentence for the second question's answer. Okay, number 3, what did Blue have a blast doing? So it's kind of a good idea to kind of look through the story quickly for the word blast. And kind of in the middle, it says Blue had a blast chasing after blackbirds. So you could take that sentence and copy it as your answer for number 3. Blue had a blast chasing after blackbirds. Okay, number 4. What is a synonym for blimp? And I did not put the choices, but there are some choices on your page. A, flag, B, cloud, C, airship, or D, sun. So if you don't know, a synonym is something that means the same. like a word, a different word, but has the same meaning. Like mad and angry are different words, but they kind of mean the same thing. If I say I am mad, you know that I am angry. And if I am angry, you know that I am mad. So those are synonyms. So what is a synonym for blimp? It says Blake looks up and sees a blimp in the sky. So he could possibly see a flag in the sky, but I don't think it would really catch his attention very long, to the point that his dog gets away. Again, B, he could see a cloud in the sky, but I don't think it would be unusual enough for him to sit and stare at it and his dog get away. So what about C, airship? That sounds like it might be something that catches his attention, because D, choice D, is the sun. So we see the sun in the clouds in the sky almost every day. So that wouldn't really catch Blake's attention enough that he got distracted and lost his dog. So a synonym for blimp would be airship, because that was something unusual in the sky and caught Blake's attention, and Blue got away from him. So that makes the most sense to be a synonym for blimp. Okay, the following pages are called The Clown and The Blizzard, and The Clown is in Town. And I am leaving those to you to finish. And as I just showed you, it's very easy to find the answers in the story. Sometimes you can copy an exact sentence from the story as your answer. Also, in the word work section, there are 1B tricky words. There is a list of 1B tricky words. If you'll go to my channel and see all the videos, I actually have videos of 2G, 1B, and 2B words. So that can kind of help you, flash them, practice reading them, get to know them pretty quickly, because when you know your power words quickly, it helps you read a little bit quicker, more fluent. And then the rest of the pages of word work are reviewing words. And there are little stories like Rain, Rain, Go Away, 3 Little Kittens, and 3 Blind Mice. And this will be good reading practice. Cute little stories for you to read. Okay, moving on to math. We have learned different skills of adding these 2-digit numbers. So we are on our final lesson of the packet in math. It is lesson 27. We are making a 10, adding the 10, and in some cases we'll even use a quick 10 to get our answer. So it'd be good if you know how to do all 3 of those strategies. Practice doing them different ways. But ultimately, if you get the right answer with one of the strategies they've suggested and shown your work, you're good to go. The strategies that they've shown here are just suggestions. This is what the curriculum told to try on these specific problems. So I made a note of what they did, and that's the way we're going to work that problem. Okay, so 19 plus 12, we're going to break 12 into 1 and 11 because we're making a 10. We're trying to get that 19 up to the next 10, which is 20. So 19 plus 1 equals 20. And then you take that 20 and you add the 11, and you get 31. So 19 plus 12 equals 31. And that is making a 10. Okay, we're going to go to B, 18 plus 12. We are making a 10. So what does that 18 need to get to the next 10, which is 20? It needs a 2. And so when we take 2 from the 12, there's 10 left over. So we're going to make a 10, the next 10 with our 18 and 2, which is 20. We're going to take that 20, add the 10, and you get 30. So 18 plus 12 equals 30. Okay, looking down at C, we have 19 plus 13. This time we're adding the 10. That means we're going to break that 13 down into the 10s and 1s. So 13 breaks down into 10 and 3. And because we're adding the 10, we're going to circle that 19 and 10 and say 19 plus 10 equals 29. Take the 29, add the 3, and you get 32. So 19 plus 13 equals 32. Okay, looking at D, we have 18 plus 14. Again, we are going to add the 10. So we're going to break that 14 down into 10 and 4, which is its 10s and 1s. We're going to add the 10 first. So 18 plus 10 equals 28. Take the 28, add the 4, and you get 32. So 18 plus 14 equals 32. So I hope you see the difference between making a 10 and adding the 10. Okay, moving on to the bottom of the page, 353. 17 plus 14. So this time we're adding the 10. We're going to take the 14 and break it into 10 and 4. We're going to add 17 plus 10 equals 27. We're going to take that 27, add the 4, and get 31. So 17 plus 14 equals 31. That's adding the 10. So on F, it is 17 plus 17. We are also adding the 10. So we're going to take the 17 and break it down into the 10s and 1s. We're going to add 17 plus 10 equals 27. Going to take that 27, add 7, and you get 34. So 17 plus 17 equals 34. Okay, so G is also adding the 10. 18 plus 17. So we're going to split that 17 into 10 and 7. We're going to add the 18 and the 10 and get 28. Take that 28, add 7, you get 35. So 18 plus 17 equals 35. And if you look at E, F, and G, they're all the circles are all circling a 10 because you're adding the 10 first. So they look similar. But when we get to H, we are making a 10. So we're going to try to get that 19 to the next 10, which is 20. So we're going to divide this 18 a little differently. We're going to put 17 on one side and 1 on the other. And we're going to make a 10 with that 19 and 1. So 19 plus 1 equals 20. Take the 20 and grab that 17, and you get 37. So 18 plus 19 equals 37. We're on page 354. We are still on the problem set. It says you may draw quick tens and some ones to help you. We actually are going to do that on 2 of these. But A, we're going to make a 10. So we need to split that 12 into 1 and 11 so that we can take that 1, give it to 19 to get it to the next 10, which is 20. So 19 plus 1 equals 20. We take that 20 and add the 11 and get 31. So 19 plus 12 equals 31. On B, we are going to do quick tens. So I've already drawn my 18. The stick represents 10. The 8 dots represent the ones, which is 8. So we're just going to add the 13 in with it. So 13 has a full 10, so that's another stick that I added. And it has 3 ones. So we're going to add our ones. But something happens right here. The tower gets full, the 10 spots are taken, so we draw a line through it. But that remaining of the 3 has to drop to the ground. So if you add up your picture, you see it is 10, 20, 30, 31. So 18 plus 13 equals 31. Okay, C, 19 plus 13. It says we are making a 10. So we must split that 13 into something that can help the 19 get to the next 10. So 19 needs 1 more to get to 20. You take that 20 and grab that 12, and you get 32. So 19 plus 13 equals 32. Okay, D, we're going to do another quick 10. We have our 18 represented already with our stick and our 8 dots. We are going to add the 15. So there's the 10 of the 15 represented with a stick, and we need to add the 5 ones. But something happens when we add those 2. All 10 spaces of that tower are filled up, so we draw a line through it. And whatever's remaining of the 5 that we need to add drops to the ground. Okay, so when you add up your picture, you see 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33. So 18 plus 15 equals 33. Okay, we're going to go to the bottom part of that page, 354. E is 19 plus 16. We're going to split that 16 into the 10s and 1s. because we're adding the 10. And when you need to add the 10, you got to pull that 10 out. So 19 plus 10 equals 29. Take the 29, add the 6, and you get 35. So 19 plus 16 equals 35. Okay, going to F, we see 15 plus 17, and it says adding the 10. So if we're going to add the 10, we need to pull the 10 out. So 15 is broken into 10 and 5. We're going to add that 10 to the 17 and get 27. Take the 27, add 5, and you get 32. So 15 plus 17 equals 32. So on both of those, we added the 10. That means we pulled the 10 out and added it first. But now when we go to G, we are making a 10. So we need to split that 19 into 1 and 18 so that we can get the other 19 to the next 10, which is 20. So 19 plus 1 equals 20. Then 20 plus 18 equals 38. So 19 plus 19 equals 38. Okay, looking at H, we're doing the quick 10 strategy. I've already drawn my 18. It's represented with a stick. The 10 is represented with a stick, and the 8 ones are represented with the dots. So we're going to add that next 18 in. So here's its 10, and then we need to add 8 ones. So as you can see, there's only 2 spots left in that tower. So when we fill it up, the 10 spaces are full, we draw a line through it to let us know that is a full 10. Now we need to add the rest of the 8 ones. So we've taken 2 already. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you look at your picture and you count it up, there is 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36. 18 plus 18 equals 36. And finally, we are on the exit ticket for lesson 27 on page 355. We're going to do the 3 strategies. They're listed here: adding the 10, making a 10, and quick 10. So on A, we have 16 plus 15. To add the 10, we're going to need to split that 15 into 10 and 5. 16 plus 10 equals 26. 26, and grab that 5, equals 31. So 16 plus 15 equals 31, and that is adding the 10. Okay, go across at B, and it also says adding the 10, so we need to split that 13 into its 10s and 1s. Add the 17 and 10 first. So 17 plus 10 equals 27. Take the 27 and you add the 3 and you get 30. So 17 plus 13 equals 30. Okay, going down to C, we have 16 plus 16. It says we are making a 10. So we have to think about, what does that 16 need to get to the next 10? if you think about it, 16 plus 4, it needs 4 to get to the next 10. So we're going to split that other 16 into 4 and 12. That's so that that first 16 can have the 4 and get to the next 10, which is 20. 16 plus 4 equals 20. And then you take the 20 and you add the 12 and you get 32. So 16 plus 16 is 32, and that is making a 10, different than adding the 10. It is making a 10. So on D, we have our quick 10 picture, and I've already drawn the 17 in quick 10s, so we need to add our 15. So there's another stick that represents the 10 of the 15. So we need to add 5 ones. And there's 3 of the ones, but I'm stopping because the tower is full. So when the tower has a full 10, we draw a line through it. And we let the remaining of the 5 drop to the ground. So if you count up your picture, it is 10, 20, 30, 31, 32. So 17 plus 15 equals 32. So all 3 strategies are represented there. Maybe adding the 10 is easiest for you. Adding the 10 first is the easiest thing for you. Maybe making a 10 is the easiest thing for you. Or the quick 10. But the most important thing is you got to show your work and get the correct answer. You got to show what you're thinking. Okay, so the following pages are 356 and 357. Those are Lesson 27's homework. We've done the practice, now you're on your own. And I will provide the answers to the homework so that you can check your work. If you want, you could just send me a message, shoot me a text, let me know that you want to check your work. And that is Garfield dancing there because we have completed this entire packet. And I tried to give you plenty of time next week to finish it up if there's anything that's left undone. Plenty of time to get that finished up before May 8th. And we are all done. And there it is. The packet's due to the school, at the school, by May 8th. And I have enjoyed doing these videos for you. I do believe the school is planning to have an additional packet for May. If you are thinking that these videos help you, please let me know. You can leave a comment on the video, or you can shoot me a message or a text. It takes a lot of time to do these, but if anyone is benefiting from it, I will continue to do it. But I need to know. You got to give me some feedback. So just let me know. And I hope you have had a good learning experience doing this packet. I know it's not the same as being in the classroom. I agree. It is not the same. I wish we could be all together in that room again. So I will close with I miss you very, very much. And let me know if I can help you somehow. Bye-bye.